Hey guys, David here, and today we're going to give you a definitive guide into postcard marketing, or how it is that I do postcard marketing. Now, the thing with postcard marketing and the importance of this video is two things that I just want to put out there before we start. One, there's going to be some stuff in here that you may not know, or tricks that you may need, and you're going to have to rewind the video and stop it and go back and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be afraid to pause the video, and if you are having any problems or anything, you just pause it and watch it again or rewatch it. And the second part to this, and the more important thing, I guess, is some of you guys who watch this video are going to miss parts and you're going to have to rewind. Other people are going to miss the entire video and they're going to watch it. What I mean by that is, what it is that I'm about to show you, some people think, oh, the internet, it has to be the internet, and they want the sexy new thing. And how I got free for my job, part of the way I got free was actually sending out postcards, promoting a business. Now, I learned some things over that time, and what I do as a leader is I produce co-ops. So I have people who want to join my business, they join with me, and then they don't know how to send postcards, so I send postcards for them. I can teach them how to send postcards, but you know, the chances are they may not do them. So it's just easier for me to get a postcard co-op going. I have various different co-ops. Postcards are just one of them. But you're going to miss this video, or you can miss this video, if you think that this is too simple to work, or it's too easy, or why aren't more people doing it. The reason why I can go on here and I can show you most of what I'm going to do is because most of you aren't going to do it. And I know that. So I don't have a problem sharing that with you, because I know that you're not going to do it anyway. If you're looking for ways to make more money, then this is a way, right? We're just trying to get people to view our actual offer, right? We're trying to build our list and do lead generation and whatnot. And by postcard marketing, we're able to do that. But people want the sexy thing. They want the Facebook ads. They want the Bing ads. They want the PPC. They want the PPV. They want the solo ads and all this other stuff. And they neglect a lot of stuff, like some of the marketing, or quite a bit of the marketing that I do, is actually offline. So if you look and you see this magazine, I'm in here. I run co-ops for people in different magazines and different newspapers, right? I've found newspapers and magazines that convert for different offers. I've used it for CPA. I've used it for converting, some of my coaching clients who aren't actually in make money online type businesses. They're actually in other businesses, and they're just looking for lead generation. I teach people how to do that. So again, this postcard video is for you guys, but I want you to understand that you have to go out and do this, but it's not difficult. I'm going to break down every step. So let's get started. So the first step, what we're going to do is, let me close this window out. I don't usually fire up this computer too often. So it's got it's my old computer. It's what I actually got started, online with. So what we have here is, get the hair tie out of the way, sorry about that. What we have here is we actually opened the program in Word, right? Microsoft Word has a program called Postcard, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's how to make postcards. When you start your program, what's going to happen is you're going to have 4. You're going to have 4 blocks for postcards. So that means that there's 4 postcards per one piece of paper. So if you want to send out 400 postcards, you need 100 pieces of paper. Now that's easy, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put in the copy, right? We're going to put a website, and I recommend that you guys run an 800 number. The 1-800 number is just going to be a number that people can call and get more information. Some people want to know that you're real, and how you can run that as a 2-step is when people call that number, you actually voice broadcast those numbers, which is what I do. People call into this. I tell them by calling into this, you accept, that you're going to get phone calls from me once in a while, they actually get those phone calls, and when they get those phone calls, sometimes I leave a message, sometimes I talk to them, sometimes I transfer them to call centers, sometimes I talk to them on the phone. It really depends on what kind of campaign I'm in, and what it is that I'm doing, the price point of the offer, whether it's a higher ticket offer where I'm actually going to have to get on the phone sometimes. I know getting on the phone is scary, but it's what sometimes you have to do to sell the more pricey stuff. If you want to sell that $25 and $50 thing, then stay off the phone. Don't get on the phone at all. And I'm not saying cold call, right? We're not cold calling anybody. These are people who are calling in looking for information on how to make money online, or whatever product or service it is that you're offering. We're just doing it through postcard marketing. They're going to an 800 number. They're calling and listening to a message. And the people who leave you a message asking to get talked to, call those people back. It's really easy. It's people who say, hey, I'm ready to get started, I volunteer, and you call them. I don't do a lot of selling over the phone. I don't do a lot of convincing or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is get the information and get them started, right? And get them started. That's the key point. So what we do is we have this 4 postcard thing. Then after that, what we can do is we can put that on a thumb drive, right? Everybody has one of these, or you can get one. They're really cheap. It's an actual thumb drive. Now, I take this thumb drive and either I print these out myself. That's what I do. So up here, you're going to see my giant behemoth. It's a Brother. It's a couple years old. It only prints in black and white, but what it does is it prints my postcards, and that's all we're looking for. I don't need a laser jet or you know, the fanciest actual thing to print my postcards. And the thing is, as you can see, it's a big, trying to get this in picture, what you can see is it's a big block and it's old. I've had it for years and it just prints out postcards, and this is how I print money sometimes, legally obviously. So what I do is I have this thumb drive and then I print out my postcards. When I print out my postcards, I'm going to use cardstock. There's index and then there's cardstock. So I like cardstock. It's a little bit thicker. I prefer 110 pounds or better. But you have to watch the actual poundage, and that just means like the thickness of the paper, because some printers won't be able to print on that thickness of paper. Like it'll be too thick for the actual printer to print. So what we do is, in situations like that, or situations where you just don't want to do this, you take this thumb drive, you go to Kinko's, you go to Office Max, Office Depot, whatever office store you want to. Some Walmarts actually have an office center where you can do this stuff. And you give them this, and you tell them you want to print it on cardstock, whatever cardstock it is. And they can do that. The next thing is, let's talk about the actual colors, right? There's a bunch of colors that you can use. I use the muted colors. I try not to get the really bright colors. I found out that they don't convert as well for me. You want to test it, you want to track it, go ahead, but I'm just telling you what I do. So I like that blue at the bottom, I like that green, and I like that yellow. Those kind of mimic shutoff notices, right? If you look at shutoff notices, or if you ever received the shutoff notice, it's usually a muted color, right? The government doesn't want to spend a lot of money, or municipalities don't want to spend a lot of money on paper, so they get the cheapest paper, and it converts really well. People pay attention to them. And when you have the right message combined with that, it's going to work out awesome. The next thing that we have to talk about, or the most important thing really, is the leads, right? So here's a list of leads. This is over 1,000 leads for this co-op that I'm doing for someone. They got started with me and they just don't want to do this, or they don't know how to do this. I would say it's more that they don't want to do this, because I do teach everybody how to do this if this is what you want to learn. They took advantage of that during our initial coaching call for setting everything up for them. So we got the leads, and the place that I go to get leads is an amazing place. Now, there's some places that you can go online and you can find these leads, and a lot of people say you only want to mail buyers. Well, what you have to understand is, before a buyer actually said with his credit card, I'm going to buy, he was a seeker or a looker. And mailing those lists aren't bad if those are the right seekers or lookers as far as the stage in which they are seeking or looking, right? If they just found out about making money online, they're not ready to dip their toe in the water or anything yet, those seekers aren't as responsive, obviously, because they're not really in a position where they're wanting to move, and you would have to nudge them and get them moving and all that stuff. That's not what I'm about. So I found a couple places where I can find cheaper seeker lists of actually qualified, ready to move people, and it's a cheaper list to mail to than a buyer's list. By default, go to a buyer's list, but test seeker lists at the same time. Maybe you can get a little bit cheaper as far as the seeker lists that still convert at a reasonable rate, so that you can make money on doing this. Finally, the last thing, I guess, kind of with this part is we're going to have postage, right? So we just have stamps. I've done this a few different ways. I've actually had companies mail for me when I was mailing more, or when I do mail more, I have companies do it. There are a few different companies out there that use a few different lists, and those are the people that I usually go to. On those occasions, I only do buyer's lists because of the companies that they use and the relationship that I have with the people who are selling those lists. I know them, I trust them, I understand that their lists convert really well, and it's easier just to have them go to them and buy the list, put it on the postcard, and mail it out when I'm mailing in bulk. For people who are in my co-op who are just mailing like 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, something like that a week, what I do is I do it myself. So I do all of this stuff. I do everything that I'm showing you right now. I make the postcard, I put their information in the postcard, I set this up with the stamps. Now, postage you can't really get around, right? Right around now when I got these, I think it was like $50, almost $50 for a roll of stamps, and that's my roll of stamps for people, and that's part of the package. It's all inclusive when you sign up for that, how many postcards you're going to mail, how many I'm going to mail for you and whatnot. So I get this set up, and I'm going to mail it on a certain day. I like to mail on a certain day so that it hits the mailbox at a certain day, and that really is from testing and tracking. Now, that information I'm not actually going to share, just like I'm not going to share where I get my list from. That's privileged information. It's cost me tens of thousands of dollars to come up with that information, and I'm willing to give it to anybody who joins me in business who wants that stuff, but that's one of the bonuses that I offer. So now that we have our lists, right, we print them out. What I like to do as far as printing them out is I like to start out on white paper, like I said, and I get the actual thing. As you can see, like it's 4, right? So you see the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get it so it lines up on the paper right. Once it lines up on the paper right, I switch over to my actual postcard that I'm going to mail, so you can see that there's 4 there. Now you can either take one of those cutty things, and I'm not too good at those, where you can slide it through and you could slice the line to make your four postcards, or actually what I do is I take mine to Office Max or Office Depot. I'm not exactly sure which one, and they charge me like $1 per cut. So they'll put 2 cuts on it, one vertically, one horizontally, and those 2 cuts turn it into 4 postcards. And then I'll mail it myself, or I'll take it. There's a mailer locally who uses his indicia where I can get lists from if I'm mailing a little bit higher, but not quite enough to actually have one of the companies do everything. So I'll do part of it myself. I'll make the postcards, or I'll do something to save a little bit of money because I'm not mailing that much. And that's really it. That's how I mail postcards. And the last kind of thing that I want to talk about, this is, as a leader, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to be doing. But as a business builder, right, and I want you guys to see this. This is, right, Click Magic, and as you can see, 51 total clicks today, 51 unique clicks today. Let's refresh that to make sure that's where we're at. So 52, 8 filtered clicks. That's solo ads going out. So as a leader, I need to be helping my team grow, right, and that's mailing postcards, or that's putting magazine ads together and getting those co-ops going. It's solo ad co-ops going. It's all of this stuff, right? As a leader, I need to be doing that. But in addition to that, as a leader, I need to be going out and sponsoring more people, right? We need to be productive, and we need to be actually producing. A lot of people want to get past the part of producing without actually producing. Like, oh, I want to be a guru, or I want to sponsor 1,000 people. Well, go out and sponsor 1,000 people. That's kind of where that's at. You need to do it. And as a leader, you not only need to be helping your team along, right? Because a lot of people get in this thing where they sponsor 10 or 15 people, and they're like, oh, I got to help my team. I got to help my team. And they slow down, and then their business goes away. So never stop what it is that you're doing. If you're a producer and you need to be, start producing, right? Keep producing, produce, and then help your team along with co-ops and things like that grows the actual business. But keep doing what it is that you need to do to grow every day. So that was a definitive guide to postcard marketing. Rewind it, watch it again if you need to, and we'll see you in the next video.